Hello, everybody. Today, we dive into one of the most extraordinary feats of ancient engineering. Walls made of massive, irregular stones, fitted so perfectly, not even a blade of grass could slide between them. Please subscribe to the channel to watch more incredible stories. These are the polygonal masonry walls. They appear in Peru, in Italy, in Greece, and beyond. Some are defensive, some ceremonial. All are stunning examples of human skill. Our goal is to uncover what science and archaeology can really tell us about how they were made. Because behind the awe and the mystery, there is evidence, hard, measurable, testable evidence that reveals the methods, the tools, and the genius of the builders. Polygonal masonry means shaping stones into many-sided polygons, fitting them tightly without mortar. In some cases, the stones are so large they weigh dozens of tons. Yet they are cut and set with microscopic precision. And here's the fascinating part. These walls have survived for centuries, even in earthquake zones. This isn't magic. It's engineering. We'll begin in Peru. Here in places like Cusco and Sacsayhuaman, the stones curve and interlock in ways that seem almost organic. Rostislav Lapshin, a Russian engineer, studied these walls closely. He believes the builders started, not with the actual stones, but with small clay models of each wall section. They planned every joint in miniature. Then, using a mechanical copying tool, a three-dimensional pantograph, they scaled up the shape from the model to the real stone. A second tool, a topography translator, mapped the surface of one stone onto its neighbor. Lapshin proved his idea by making his own interlocking stones. No guesswork, no mysterious lost technology. Just careful measurement, smart tools, and extraordinary skill. From Peru, we move to Italy. The Samites, an ancient Italic people, built massive fortifications of polygonal masonry. In 2023, Fontana took a fresh approach. He measured walls, calculated their surface area, and assessed the irregularity of each block. From this, he built an energetics model, essentially, how much labor it took to produce different levels of precision. His results were striking. Walls with tight joints and minimal gaps took exponentially more effort. In other words, perfection had a very real human cost. Now to Greece. To Ancient Eleon. Excavations led by Brendan Burke and Brian Burns uncovered a late classical polygonal wall. On its surface, they found chisel marks, smoothing lines, and dressing patterns of frozen traces of the mason's hands. They recorded the wall in 3 dimensions, down to the millimeter. Here the goal was both strength and beauty. Defensive, yes, but also a public statement. Look what we can build. Our last stop is back in Italy, in the Sangro Valley. Here, a team from Oberlin College, Oxford University, Durham University, and the Italian Archaeological Service excavated Samnite fortifications from the 2nd century BC. They mapped the walls with GIS and studied how they integrated with cliffs and slopes. These weren't just barriers. They were instruments of control, dominating passes, guarding valleys. Now let's compare. In Peru, curving, interlocking stones planned in miniature before cutting. In Italy, massive blocks, sometimes rectilinear, balancing speed and precision. In Greece, finely tooled faces, shaped directly on site. What unites them? Mortarless joints, careful stone selection, an intuitive grasp of how to spread weight and absorb earthquakes. What differs? The type of stone, the scale of labor, and the cultural priorities. For the Inca, resilience and symbolism. For the Samnites, defense and endurance. For the Greeks, skill and prestige. These builders understood geometry, in a practical way. They measured, they templated, they aligned. They knew how to move stone, how to make it last, and how to impress. Excavations give us the missing links. Tool marks tell us how. Quarries tell us where. Foundation layers tell us when. At Illen, iron chisel marks match tools from the same era. At Sangro Valley, quarry scars show the routes the stone took down to the building site. And about those myths, it's easy to imagine aliens or lost civilizations. But the evidence says otherwise. Lapshin's models prove the precision is reproducible. Fontana's data shows it's a matter of labor, not magic. These walls are a triumph of human ingenuity. They are monuments to organization, vision, and endurance. They say we are here, and we can shape the world itself. The researchers we've heard from Rostislav Lapshin, Fontana, Brendan Burke, Brian Burns, and the Sangro Valley Project team each offer a piece of the puzzle. Together they show us the truth. Polygonal masonry is the result of brains, hands, and time working in harmony. Thank you for listening, and please do not forget to leave a like and subscribe.